Shalom. Call hello Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, which is all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people in the world can call God, by Hashem, in the name of Yahushua, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who you people in the world can call Jesus Christ. Once again, Shalom to Yahweh. Once again, the true names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son is Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Shalom also to you brothers, you Akim, that's pushing and spreading this word throughout the four corners of the earth, who's also uplifting the names Yahweh by Hashem El Shah. Shalom to you Akim once again. Shalom also to the Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All forefathers, though you may look like the heathen nations, you're scattered amongst due to scatter. The heathen nations being the nations as you see on this chart. Starting from 2 on down, those are the heathen nations. Also, if your bloodline, your lineage goes back to these people through the man, and if your spirit bear witness with this word, this truth, and you can receive it to the speckled bird, man, woman, child, then you are Israelites. Though, once again, you do look like the heathen nations just scattered amongst due to the scattering of these people on this chart. Okay? So you will have Israelites that will come looking like the heathen, but they're indeed Israelites because they're under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, the 15th verse on down as well. Their spirit bear witness with this word that they are the sons and daughters of Yahweh by Shema Shah, and most importantly, their lineage goes back to these people through the man, no matter what they come looking like. If they're fathers and Israelite, then that'll make them an Israelite as well. To the few Akwaf with you sisters that do listen and learn, Shalom to you. Listen, learn, and believe. Shalom to you as well. To the elect of the nation of Israel, wherever you may be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, where this word is going out to, Shalom to you as well. To you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you could bond, consist, and make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people of the Most High Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah. Once again, no.
Breaking tonight, clashes in Chicago as protesters try to topple a Christopher Columbus statue in Grant Park. Chicago police say 18 of their officers have been hurt tonight and 12 people are in custody. The police telling Fox News officers, quote, were there to protect the protesters and allow them to exercise their First Amendment rights. The protesters turned on police, they say, throwing projectiles, firecrackers, and cans with frozen liquid. They say police were ambushed. Senior correspondent Rick Leventhal has the very latest tonight from our West Coast newsroom on all the controversy over federal involvement in Portland and beyond. Good evening, Rick.
Good evening, Shannon. There are a lot of critics who say federal officers have no business in Portland. So in response, the Department of Homeland Security released this 6-page list of what it calls lawless destruction and violence against agents and property, allegedly committed every single night for the past 7 weeks. The feds say violent anarchists have broken windows, destroyed fencing, graffitied buildings, launched fireworks, and attacked officers with a hammer, rocks, paint-filled balloons, lasers, and slingshots, among other crimes. And authorities say that's what led to the detention of a suspect that's drawn a lot of attention on social media when 2 agents without name tags grabbed a suspect and put him in an unmarked minivan. The feds say that the person was suspected of assaults against agents or property, and they had to move him because a large and violent mob was forming nearby. Portland's mayor and Oregon's governor are among the critics who say the DHS, Customs and Border Protection agents, and U.S. Marshals are escalating an already tense situation and aren't welcome there anymore. Acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf in Portland yesterday, touring federal facilities and meeting with agents, says he reached out to Mayor Ted Wheeler and Governor Kate Brown, both Democrats, only to be told to leave. Governor Brown tweeted, I told Acting Secretary Wolf that the federal government should remove all federal officers from our streets. His response showed me he is on a mission to provoke confrontation for political purposes. And Democratic Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley tweeted,
Back up! 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 Back Back up.
Be charged with additional crimes. Since you have refused to leave the roadway, you will be placed under arrest on the charge of disorderly conduct. If you do not cooperate and accompany the arresting officer to the prison and transport vehicle, or if you resist arrest, you may be charged with additional crimes. We are free, We're backing up. We're backing up. We're backing up. Arresting officer to the prison and transport vehicle, or if you resist arrest, you may be charged with additional crimes. Since you have refused to leave the roadway, you will be placed under arrest.
So that's just a few videos, man. That's happened recently, within days, man. Okay, so you had Chicago, they tried to tear down another, Cristobal Colon. His real name is Cristobal Colon, but they call him Christopher Columbus. They tried to tear down his statue. It's shocking how many Christopher Columbus statues are all over the damn place in this country. But they tried to tear his statue down. They were met by the police protecting it, and they got into it, man. They got physical, man. And then you had the second video I showed you that was, in Brooklyn. They said it was on the Brooklyn Bridge. Officer got, mashed upside his head, man. And then in this one right here, this was in London. They let loose on these officers, man. Throwing with the bicycles, throwing bricks, So this place is finished, man. Okay? This place is done. Okay, before I get, a few scriptures and then close it, I'm gonna show you, this is Rome all over again. It's Rome all over again, Hold on. Bear with me. All right. Let me probably get this article. All right. This is Rome all over again, man. Okay. 8 reasons why Rome fell. Invasion by barbarian tribes. Okay. Says the most straightforward theory for Western Rome's pen. Actually, you know what? Let me go down. 2. Okay. Economic troubles and over-reliance on slave labor. Even as Rome was under attack from outside forces, it was also crumbling from within, thanks to a severe financial crisis. And then we in the financial crisis now. They're saying the financial crisis we're in now is even worse than the Great Depression, man. Okay? It's going to be worse than 2008. All these crashes that America has went through. Okay, this one's going to be the mother of all crashes, man. Why? Because we at the end. It's prophesied that this will be the worst crash. Constant wars and overspending had significantly lightened imperial coffers and an oppressive taxation and inflation, which what you see going on right now. Overspending on what? The military, okay? They're overspending, especially giving these bailouts to these other banks, okay? They've been overspending for years, man, okay? And oppressive taxation, what are they trying to do now? They're raising, okay, property taxes in most of these states, if not all states, okay? Because you got the kids not going to school, okay? You got a lot of people that's fleeing these major cities due to the chaos that's going on in them, and due to them not having enough income due to their job loss, to pay, to live in that city. So they're leaving. So now you got a bunch of vacant, empty apartment buildings. You got it in L.A., New York, okay, Chicago, okay. So you have that, and now they need money, so they're gonna suck it out, of wherever the rich is. So if you rich, like for instance in Florida, you're gonna increase your property tax. You're gonna increase the property tax on everybody, but it's mainly gonna fall on the rich. And what's gonna happen? The rich is gonna flee that state, and now it's gonna fall on the poor people, man. Okay, and inflation, and we have inflation right now. The dollar is basically through. Okay, 20, 30 years ago, you go in the same store, if it was up, you'll buy something you're able to buy with $10 to $20, come out with at least a good decent amount of bags. Now you buy, like 2-3 things, that's already almost up to $20 or $30, man. I went to the store yesterday. I only bought a few things. It went up to $20, $22 to $25, man. That's madness, but that's just showing you, okay, that the dollar is through, man. It says had widened the gap between the rich and the poor, man. Okay, who just got the most loans, man? The most bailouts is the rich. Why all the poor people, or what they were used to deem the middle class, which is gone now, basically. Okay, they ain't getting nothing, man. The mom and pop stores, nothing. It says, in the hope of avoiding a tax man, many members of the wealthy classes had even fled to the countryside, which they're doing right now, like I said earlier, and set up independent fiefdoms. And at the same time, the empire was rocked by a labor deficit. Rome's economy depended on slaves as it does now. Who's the main slaves that it depends on? You Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. America, okay, was established on your blood, okay? So I'm gonna get that. That's why I'm just going to quote it. Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter says, woe unto them that establish a town by blood and iniquity. That's what this place was found on, the blood of the Israelites, man, the blood of the saints. To this fields and works as craftsmen, right? And this military might have traditionally provided a fresh influx of conquered peoples to put to work. That's what this man's been doing. It started with the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and then when he got us in subjection, okay, you were basically the example on how he was going to do to the rest of the world. He's done that. Look at the Mideast. Okay, he's gone over there. He's heap up the dust, and take it to people, man. But when expansion ground to a halt in the 2nd century, Rome's supply of slaves and other war treasures began to dry up. A further blow came in the 5th century when the Vandals claimed North Africa and began distributing the empire's trade by plowing the Mediterranean as pirates. And you see that now with China. China being the main one. China is going into Africa, and all these other different, countries that America, has a hold in when it comes to resources and deals. China's now taking over. Okay? Everybody's dealing with China. It's either China or they're dealing with Russia, because Russia has, the best weapons to be, man. With its economy flaring, its commercial and agricultural production and decline. And what else will happen? You had the floods, okay, come in and destroy the farmers' crops, and you had a lot of these farmers, even before that, a lot of these farmers were going bankrupt, man, and still going bankrupt. So that's the same thing that's happening. It says the empire began to lose its grip on Europe. Okay? And those are Edomite over there too. And what a lot of European nations, the EU nations, which the new Rome today is America, EU, and NATO. What's happening? The the 10 toe, 10 toes, not the 10 toes, but the 10 horns. Those EU nations, they don't want to deal with America no more, man. Due to America, Donald Trump, him being proud, they destroyed all the deals that they had with the other nations, so they lost their grip on Europe already, man. Okay? Some of this I could read, but I'm just going to skip over, but you see it says the rise of the Eastern Empire, because this was the first Rome, and when Esau fell, who came to power? Jake, Southern kingdom, so-called Negroes, for a period of 1,000 years, man. Then Esau came back into power. It goes into that in Revelations, the 20th chapter. If you go down, it says, let me see. It says overexpansion and military overspending. At its height, the Roman Empire stretched from the Atlantic Ocean all the way to the Euphrates River in the Middle East, but its grandeur may have also been its downfall. With such as vast territory to govern, the empire faced an administrative and logistical nightmare. Even with their excellent road systems, the Romans were unable to communicate quickly or effectively, to enough to manage their holdings. Rome struggled to marshal enough troops and resources to defend its frontiers from local rebellions and outside attacks. And by the 2nd century, the Emperor Hadrian was forced to build his famous wall in Britain just to keep the enemy at bay. As more and more funds were funneled into the military upkeep of the empire, technological and advancement slowed, and Rome's civil infrastructure fell into disrepair. And this was happening right now, man. All this is happening right now. You know? The fifth one says government corruption, and you already know this is happening. You can't deny that this not happening. And political instability. If Rome's sheer size made it difficult to govern, ineffective and inconsistent leadership only served to magnify the problem. Being a Roman emperor had always been particularly a dangerous job, but during the tumultuous 2nd and 3rd centuries and nearly became a death sentence, civil war thrust the empire into chaos, and we have civil war now. They like to say the left versus the right. You now got racial tensions at an all-time high. Okay? You have all types of things happening. The rich versus the poor. You have all types of things happening. It says, thrust the empire into chaos, and more than 20 men took the throne in a span of 75 years. Usually after the murder of their predecessor, the Praetorian Guard, the emperor's personal bodyguards assassinated and installed new sovereigns at will, and once even auctioned the spot off to the highest bidder. The political riot also extended to the Roman Senate, which failed to temper the excess of the emperors due to its own widespread corruption and incompetence. As the situation worsened, civic pride waned, and many Roman citizens lost trust in their leadership. And you see that right now playing out with what? Donald Trump. Nobody takes Donald Trump serious. You see people making memes about Donald Trump on social media. You see even cartoons or shows on TV. I seen where they were mocking Trump or talking shit about Trump, which I don't like him. The only reason why I like him is because he's fulfilling prophecy for this place to go down. Otherwise than that, he's a Edomite. I don't give a shit about him. But this is what's happening. A lot of governors, they're being called out by their citizens. Okay? So a lot of people have lost trust in this system, man. Okay? This is why you have doomsday preppers. This is why you have, militias, because they've lost trust in the government, man. Now this is one. Okay? Let's see. But it says right here, Christianity, the loss of traditional values. Okay? And the true Christians are the Israelites. And back in the ancient Rome, okay, that's what they were calling us, when we were pushing the word out. Okay? And they fell to that. But now the same thing is happening. This word, the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai is being pushed, and Christianity's been torn down. That's a part of his stronghold. Esau's lies. So that's another reason why this place is falling. But I'm trying to find. I had seen it yesterday. It was talking about how bear with me. talking about how people. I had found a good one. So it was talking about people. They had, was on the brink of collapse, basically. I mean, not brink of collapse. Is this it? Yep. This is what I read last night. Okay. So I already read most of this. Yep. Alright, so going to this article, I'm going to read this again. Unemployment, right? It says, during the latter years of the empire, farming was done on large estates called latifundia that were owned by wealthy men who used slave labor. A farmer who had to pay workmen could not produce goods as cheaply. Many farmers could not compete with these low prices and lost or sold their farms. This is not only undermine the citizen farmer who passed his values to his family, but also filled the cities with unemployed people. Which you got what, 40, 50 million, 60 million unemployed people now? Because they're trying to manipulate them. They're trying to tell you the unemployment rate is at 13%. How you have 40, 50, 60 million people out working, the unemployment rate is at 13%? That doesn't make sense. They're manipulating it. You know? That makes no hell of a sense, man. Okay? And they said, what, 5 million out of those, 40, 50, 60 million people, they went back to work, back to work, not a new job. They went back to their old jobs. That's still nothing compared to how many people are unemployed, though. It says, where did I leave off at? At one time, the emperor was importing grain to feed more than 100,000 people in Rome alone. These people were not only a burden, but also had little to do but cause trouble and contribute to an ever increasing crime rate, man. Okay? And that's what's happening now. You got all these people dependent on government assistance benefits. And now they about to cut it off, man. Lord willing, they cut it off. Okay? And what? Crime, as this is happening, you see crime rate, you could look it up. Crime rate is rising across America, man. Chicago, New York, all these cities, man. It's going to trickle down to these rural areas, and it's going to trickle down to the suburbs, man, if it hasn't already. But it was another one on how, let me see. Oh, this one right here was interesting too. Inflation. The Roman economy suffered from inflation and increasing prices. What? Food, cars, homes. You see inflation everywhere. It says beginning after the reign of Marcus Aurelius, once the Romans stopped conquering new lands, the flow of gold into the Roman economy decreased. Yet much gold was being spent by the Romans to pay for luxury items. This meant that there was less gold to use in coins. Check this out. As the amount of gold used in coins decreased, the coins became less valuable. To make up for this loss in value, merchants raised the prices on the goods they sold. Many people stopped using coins and began to barter to get what they needed. Eventually, salaries had to be paid in food and clothing, and taxes were collected in fruits and vegetables. And that's coming back, man. Bartering is coming back. The dollar is through. Okay, now what you got? A coin shortage. Why is that not a coincidence? You have a coin shortage right now. They want you to only use the credit card because they were getting ready to implement the RFID chip. And now I'm going to read this last one. I'm going to get the scriptures. It says, urban decay. Wealthy Romans lived in domus or house with marble walls, floors with intricate colored tiles, and windows made of small panes of glass. It says most Romans, however, were not rich. They lived in small, smelly rooms in apartment houses with 6 or more stories called islands. Each island covered an entire block. At one time, there were 44,000 apartment houses within the city walls of Rome. First floor apartments were not occupied by the poor, since these living quarters rented for about $0 a year, the more shaky wooden stairs a family had to climb. The cheaper the rent became, the upper apartments that the poor rented for $40 a year were hot, dirty, crowded, and dangerous. Anyone who could not pay the rent was forced to move out and live on the crime-infested streets because of this cities began to decay. And this is what we're seeing right now. We seeing the same thing happen right now, man. Not only are people out of work, you got millions and millions and millions of people out of work. A lot of these people, they skipped their payments, whether it was March payments, June payments, July payments, and they're not going to be able to make. A large percentage of them said they're not going to be able to make August payments. And you got the benefits and the CARES Act, and then what, July 25th and the 31st, you know? So what's going to happen? Now you see them saying what? A large eviction crisis is on the horizon, man. And the worst part about it is that these benefits get cut off, you know, people are gonna only have but so much they can spend. They're not gonna be able to spend, which is gonna further destroy this economy as it already is, man. And what happened? They got kicked out this was back then on the crime infested streets, man. And that's what's gonna happen, man. So that shows you we at the end. You know? We at the end of this alone, man. You know? Okay? It's time for you, it's time for you Edomites to fall, man. Okay? So that's why you seeing these people are roused up and doing what they doing with these protests and this rioting and all that, man. You know, some of it's set up by, the left hand, the wicked elites. But you actually got people that's, fed up and people that's pissed off, man. Okay? Let me get a scripture. It's not going to be long, you know? So it's over for this place. Everything I just read, the fall of ancient Rome is the same thing that's happening now. It's just modernized now. You gotta more higher technology, you know? It's Revelations 18, right? Let me see. I'll probably start up a little bit. Revelations 18:10 says, stand afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, America, Babylon the Great, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Because that's how long it's going to take when the missiles is shot. Because I forgot to read down that article that the final blow was what? The other nations, when they saw that America was crumbling from within, all these things happened, that it basically collapsed from within. They invaded. And that's the same thing that's going to happen, because the scriptures prophesy that these heathens are going to go to war with this place. And like this, the dude, I believe Gerald Celente say, when everything else fails, I think he said like this. He says, when everything else fails, they take you to war, man. That's what's going to happen. Okay? This, it says that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory, all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble. It says, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. And they're losing that. They're losing the souls of these people, because they've been able to use that witchcraft to keep these people docile, keep these people trying to chase the American dream. Now, Yahweh Shema Shai has intervened, and he's taking all that away. So now these people are seeing everything for what it is, man. Okay? This is hell, man. You know? This ain't what they made it out to be. It says, in the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. It says, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city, that which is clothed in fine linen and purple, which purple it represents royalty, you know. And this place has been, on top. Okay, since it was established. Okay. And scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, meaning the riches of this place. This place being rich as it was. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and every man as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And these nations not gonna miss this place because it got destroyed. They're gonna miss it because they was making so much money off this place. That's gonna come to an end. It's coming to an end now. And they cast dust on their heads and cried and weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour she made desolate. Here's the point. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, you Israelites, okay? And ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all, man. Okay? Because this place was built on violence. It was built off the rape, robbing, and murdering of our people. Our people being the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, man. And it's still running off the backs of our people. Okay? So the same way this place was built up on violence, the same way you seen this place come down on violence, man. Chaos and violence, man. Okay? That's how it's gonna go down, man. You know? Let me and this violence you seeing right now, it's bad now, but you wait till these moratoriums and the bonuses stop. It's really gonna be on, man. Your Lord willing, they don't extend it. And even I heard from what I'm hearing on these different news, economic news channels, is that even if they do extend it, for one, people still gonna have to pay it back in lump sum, and two, it's probably gonna be too late for a lot of people. Because if they do extend it, it's gonna take a while for it to revamp itself. Okay. Let me get 2nd Ezra, right? 5:1. Nevertheless, as the coming tokens was a token, is something that is visible to see. Behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Okay? And these people were took off a great number. When this whole COVID-19 thing happened, nobody in America took this serious, man. They thought it was gonna be another just like Ebola. How Ebola hit the scene, everybody was like, oh shit, Ebola. Then it went away. You never heard anything. They thought it was gonna be like that. But now look, now you gotta go out and wear a mask. Now you can't go in certain stores. If you could go in certain stores, carry out, takeout, or they just closed, man. Curbside pickup. People were taking a great number, man. People thought the economy was opening back up. Everything was going back to normal. What they do? They turned around and re-shut it down. So people are took off surprised by this, man. Then you got all the other things happening, that's got people like, man, 2020 is the worst year I ever experienced, man. And you're right, it's gonna be even worse. It says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago, man. And the land that thou seest now to have root, shall thou see suddenly wasted, man. And this is what's starting to happen. It's getting worse and worse and worse, man. The more and more these people lose hope. That's another the dude named Gerald Celente said. He said when people have nothing to lose, they lose it, man. And this is what you're starting to see. These people don't have nothing to lose, man. The breads and circuses is gone. Okay? They can no longer try to hide by, sports. They can no longer hide by, their possessions, man. Cause they ain't got money to buy possessions. How much more when the food, which I'm gonna do a video on that, how much more when the food, is taken out the equation? You already know. A lot of people, when these checks in, okay, and they have to get off the couch and go find a job, when they realize ain't no jobs out there, then what, man? What you think gonna happen, man? 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world, Because this is going to come upon the whole world. It's not just going to hit America. America's just going to be the focal point of it. Because America is the one that's pushed wickedness to the four corners of the earth, man. America is the start of all these things, you know. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. You know, the race wars. You got now the police versus the citizens. Okay, you got the landlords against the state governors. They're suing them now over them increasing, I mean not increasing, but them extending these forbearance freezes and moratoriums, which is causing them a lot of money as well. So everybody's against each other, man. Okay? This is going to get worse. For there shall be sedition, which means to revolt against the government or a higher authority, you know, among men. And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand their own power. That's what you see these people doing, man. These people see that it's game over, man. You still got people that's oblivious to what's happening right now, but the majority of these people are starting to wake up and be like, you know what? To hell with this, man. You just had seen an article. You have in Chicago, they just a group of people just went and ransacked a store for no reason, man. Okay, they stole everything out of the store. You're gonna start seeing more of that, man. Okay, you're gonna see what they've been showing you in these movies, Mad Max, you know, Thunderdome. You're gonna start seeing shit like that, man. You know, The Road, the Book of Eli. This is what we entering into. Okay, but these people aren't even regarding law enforcement no more. Cause back in the day, you could a law enforcement could pull up to you, your heart would jump, especially Jake. Your heart would jump. Okay, you will being fearful. But these people not fearful no more, man. These people just, you know, attacking these police officers, man. And that's gonna lead a lot of them, you know, to quit, man. So let me a lot of them is going, you know, hang it up, man. To hell with it. That's what it's getting to the point, man. Bear with me. You know, this place is played out, man. This place ran its course. You know? It's over. This is bear with me. I'm trying to find how it says your mighty men shall be afraid. I know it's in this chapter. Yep. This is Jeremiah 51:29 says, and the land shall tremble in sorrow. For every purpose of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. And this is happening. The mighty men of Babylon, your police officers, even your your military, man. Okay, because when World War III pops off, which is coming, okay, these soldiers, and the way in Esau, what Esau did is he made a lot of men in this country effeminate, man. Effeminate, you know, lazy, you know. That's what he's made. So you basically forged your own downfall. Because a lot of these men, when World War III pops off, they're not going to want to fight, man. You seen recently they try to get 16-year-olds to where 16-year-olds are eligible for the military. And they're trying to stoop down lower than that, man. But they ain't going to want to fight, man. And damn sure these police officers, they you know, they going to get tired of being a punching bag. They just going to quit, man. Especially when all hell really breaks loose, you know. When people really start losing everything, they start, you know, doing whatever, man. Crime really goes through the roof. These police officers ain't going to, let me get it. It says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes. Their might have failed. They become as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken, man. Okay? It said, and that's what's going to happen. They ain't going to want to fight. They're just going to go home, protect them and their family, man. That's what it's coming to. Ain't going to be no more 911. You see 4 or 5 police officers pull up to one incident. That's going to be over with, man. Okay? Soon it's going to be every man for itself. And this is why, you know, we always, to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we always push repentance and the trust in Yahweh Shema Shah, because that's going to be your only covering in that time. If you don't have that, you're gonna be through out here. It's gonna be hell out here, man. You know? One post shall run to meet another, one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. And we doing that through this word, really. You know? And they behind the scenes saying this, you know, we can't do much. Just like when the walls of Jericho, you know, how the Lord told us to shout, go around shouting that 7th day, then the walls came crashing down. You didn't think them heathens were, you know, panicking, saying, what are they doing? You know, it's bringing down our wall, you know? Same thing's happening now. It says, and that the passages are stopped, and the reeds, they have burned with fire, and men of war are affrighted, man. Okay? It says, for thus said the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. And you know that's what? The end. So I got it the other day. Let me get it. I don't know why it keeps flipping. Right. Yep. It's Matthew 13. Right. And 38. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. But the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world. And the reapers are the angels, man. And we at the end of Esau Edom's world, man. Okay? So nothing's going to get better. This place, you know. Let me end it off on that Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51 verse 7 says, Babylon had been the golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken off what? The philosophies, man. Blinding every people with lies, man. Everybody's been made drunk off it. Now the wine, you know, they're getting back to sober. They're sober minded again, and now they see, you know, what this place for what it is, man. And oppressive. The politicians are corrupt. They're liars. They're pedophiles. Okay, they're satanic, man. Okay, they're unfair. So everybody's finding that out, man. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. That's these heathens. That's these other heathen nations, man. That's already happening. You know? A lot of these heathens has already packed up and left. And due to the chaos that's going down in these cities, that's caused a lot of the heathens just to leave, man. Because there's nothing left here, man. You know? It says, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, man. Okay? So the judgment of this place has reached into the ears of Yahweh by Shema Shah. He's getting ready to destroy this place. He's getting ready to uproot, pluck this place out, man. Okay? So, that's it. Call hello Allah Yahweh by Shema Shah. Yahweh Ratazah. This was edifying. Baba Kasha, Baba Bo, Baba Bo, Abaha Ayapia, Abaha Ayapia. Shalom to the elect and also to the few Israelite sisters that do listen, they're repentant and believe. Shalom.